Good morning, barbarians. This is Neil, the Barbarian Dad, and I wanted to come and do a little video about my chicken pen setup. Just got it yesterday for 60 bucks. It was a deal on Nextdoor. So that's pretty cool. So if you haven't checked out that app, you should. Every now and again, good deals come up, and I've gotten a couple of good deals on, especially chickens and chicken pens and that kind of stuff on that deal. I've been out of chickens for out of chickens. I gave up my chickens when I moved into my new house about 2.5, 3 years ago. I had some at the other house, and I was moving to this place that has problems. Needed a lot of work, and I just was like, I need to set some stuff down. I had a couple other things that I gave up as well, as being in government and um, a little side business, gave that up too. I just needed some time to kind of recenter and kind of spend time with family. So yesterday I found this, actually my wife sent me this little ad on Nextdoor, and I was able to pick up 5 hens in their second laying season, a pen with an addition on it, and a feeder, a water, and a bag of feed for 60 bucks. I mean, the wood is worth more than that. So even though it's a little bit damaged. So anyway, as you can see behind me, I have my garden. Okay. So what I'm doing is right here, I started to grow sweet potatoes this year in this grassy area. And I did something wrong. I did not prepare the ground properly. And I know that. And like one came up. So I was like, man, this isn't going to work well. I'm not very happy with that. And so when I got the opportunity to get the chickens, I said, well, I think this will be a good run for them. And so what are you going to do? I mean, it's right square in the middle of my garden. Well, what I've done is I have this electric chicken netting, and I will try to put a link in the description below. And so basically, I've got a mobile run whenever I want to. I can maneuver it, okay? It is electrified. Obviously not right now, or I would be in a lot of pain, but it is electrified. It will not keep out predators that want to eat your chickens, which is why I've added strands of wire to it. If that hits you or anybody else, it hurts like hell. So ask me how I know. I've done it. But this gives me the opportunity, as you can see, to shape how I want my pen to be, okay? And so if we're thinking in terms of permaculture, this is my zone 1, okay? And so zone 1, what is permaculture? You can look it up. I'll put a link down to the Permaculture Institute, or Research Institute of Australia. It is the idea of like holistic design, property management. It's like a science and an art. It's awesome, okay? I have my PDC from Jeff Lawton, did it online, which is pretty cool. But zone 1, they talk about zone 1 and the basics of permaculture being like circles, right? So you've got 5 zones, 5 being wild that you don't touch or manage, 4 being something you don't do a whole lot with, 3 maybe like crops or whatever, 2 being less intensive managed, and then 1 being something that you do every day, multiple times a day. And so like the way that my property works, and close to your house in zone 1. So like I am out here in this area every day anyway. Okay, so my zone 1 is not a circle around my house. It's a parishion, right? So the backside of my house I may not go to but once a week. So that would be more of a zone 2 for me, really. And so, or a zone 3 perhaps, and at least for now. So this is my zone 1. So basically what I did is I stacked, right? I did some function stacking. I put my chickens right in the middle of my garden, to where I will go out and take care of them. It'll make me look at my garden more, which is good. And I get the attributes of the chickens as well. They're going to be manuring right in here. You can already see one scratching back there, taking care of grass and weeds and pests for me. And so I'm going to let them work for me, so that this area will hopefully be ready in the fall for the fall crops, right? Broccolis and kales and lettuces and all that kind of good stuff. And so then I'll just shift this pen over into maybe this area right here, or the other area that I am embarrassed of because it's got a lot of weeds in it, and I need to work on that a little bit. So I've done that, and I know my plants aren't that big. I haven't been taking care of my garden like I should with the babies. But I put this tarp up there, give them a little bit more shade, a little bit more predator detection from above. The coop was not in the best shape, but it's not falling apart. So I had to like screw a couple things in. I had to screw a piece of plywood down there at the bottom. You know, that was just more for peace of mind for me, not really chicken safety. I mean, if something gets in here, it's gonna eat them. But you know, it's pretty good. The door's on the other side. It's easy to get into. The guy gave me scratch grains, so he did not take great care of these birds. You can kind of see their coats aren't very shiny. They're all henpecked a little bit. This one right down here at the bottom, the worst. They look a little skinny to me, not terrible, but you know, I've heard them kind of get fussy with each other once since I've had them, and I've only had them for, you know, like 24 hours. But I think that just like humans, like I think animals will fight with each other more when they feel there's a scarcity of resources, right? And these girls have been in a desolate area and been fed scratch grain. That's like feeding somebody candy all the time, right? So you're not getting the nutrients that you need, and so you're not as healthy as you would like to be or you need to be. And they didn't have access to grass or bugs or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, they were outside, so, you know, I'm sure a bug or two flew in, but it was all bare dirt. It was hard, compacted dirt back where they were in their little run area in this suburban backyard. So I'm thinking that a couple weeks out here, they're gonna do a lot better. And you can already see that they're doing good work right there. I mean, that was just all grass, and they're getting down into it and scratching it and crapping on it and making it good. So anyway, that's good. Kind of back to the chicken pen, a couple things that I do want to talk to you about my run. If this is something that you like and it's something that you want to do, this netting is not strong enough to hold itself up, okay? You need to get additional rods, and you can find those on Amazon or, you know, any kind of farm supply website or whatnot. So it's not something that you can do on your own. And again, you need to get some additional wire for predator protection. I've got 2 strands running. You know, they're about nose high for a coon or a fox, and a little higher as well, just to give them something when they run into it, and hopefully it'll get them. Okay, so I don't have power running out here. So what am I doing for that? I have a battery charger, and this is the Parmak Precision solar charger, and this is meant to be put on a fence. I've had this thing for a few years. I've only replaced the battery once. I replaced it last year and didn't even use it. Thought I was, but I didn't get my chicken pen built. So that's what it is. This thing, you know, I'm really happy with it. I've been shocked with it several times, and it hurts like hell. So I would suggest not getting shocked. So basically right here, it would show you if you crank it on, it'll start kind of thumping a little bit maybe. There you go. And you can kind of see, let's see here, let's make sure you guys can actually see. There you go. So you can kind of see it's starting to thump. And if it's in the green, it hurts like hell. Yellow, not so much, and red, not very much at all. Now, this thing only got maybe, I don't know, man, 30 minutes. Well, no, I lied to you. Probably half a day of charge last night. So it was still thumping when I came out here, but it needs some more chargings this morning. Really need to clean off this solar panel. It is quite dirty, so it won't be quite as efficient as it needs to be. So I'm just gonna use something to clean it off, like my hands. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. Now, you also need to make sure that your plants aren't growing up all over it. I've got It's touching a little bit of my pumpkins over here, but I'm not really worried about that. They just kind of sprung up for me out of my compost pile. But as you can see, I kind of put my pen run, I don't know if you can see right there, on my compost pile, which I had in the middle of my garden, and they love this. Okay, so they're again, they're working for me. They are scratching all that up. They're eating the bugs out of there. They're pooping on it. They're moving it around. So hopefully this area again will be not only the weeds be kept down, not only help a little bit with pest control, but also keeping getting my compost kind of down. So I'm just going to throw all my weeds. You can kind of see where I weeded some of my garden yesterday. It motivated me to get out here and finish some of this and do a good job there. So anyway, these girls are going to get good health. I got to go get some feed this afternoon. You know, I'm not going to feed them a ton every day. I shouldn't have to with kitchen scraps, which, you know, unfortunately I've been throwing away other than what can fit in my worm farm. And the grasses that I'm throwing to them and whatnot. And eventually, once this area is properly, scratched, pecked, and pooped, I'll move this pen to right behind here. And so, like, as you can see in the background, there's a couple of, let's see here, right there, top of my can, you can see some T-post. And I did this in my other video. I'm going to make a very large pen out of this. I'm gonna run some turkeys because I like turkeys. I want them protected. I've got 2 foxes out here. Seen some raccoons, man, that are the size of like small dogs. I mean, like big ones, like 30 pounders, man. Hadn't seen those in a long time. I shot one like 3 years ago, but they're around. I got possums. I got armadillos. This ain't gonna hurt nothing, but I got all kinds of junk out here, skunks. So I need to get this other pen built. I'll be working on that this summer, and so it'll be a permanent section. But what I'll be able to do is use the birds again to be rotated in a safe area, right? And so I'll be able to use this electric netting. I don't even have to put any charge on it, right? It'll just keep the birds from getting in and out of areas, and then this pen will be electrified. I'm actually gonna probably expand it a little bit and be able to section off pieces and easily rotate them, if you will, through the area. And then if I want to do something like a corn crop, which I don't think that you should eat a whole lot of that, but I mean, my wife likes it, my kids like it, so I'm trying to not eat so much of that. But I could do corn, I could do a good section of beans or peas or whatever I wanted to do there. A big watermelon patch or whatever. And again, it's protected from the coyotes. Yeah, there's coyotes out here too. The raccoons and all that would get into the corn because it's got the electricity running around it, the electric fence, and it'll have some gauged wire running around it. And so those things will help me significantly to protect my crops and my animals there. And so that's some good tech. I don't have a livestock guardian dog right now. I need one, but again, just kind of do what you got to do, right? So we'll get that going. I'll be able to expand that and work that. And again, like I said, rotate the birds and hopefully keep, some good grass here. And, after a couple days of intensively managed, you got 5 or 6 turkeys or 10 turkeys back here, plus, like 5, 10 chickens, sectioning off these areas will be, it'll be down to bare dirt almost in a day or so, a couple days. And then there's this mockingbird chasing my cat. Oh man, you can see my cat in the background, and it's getting dive bombed by some mockingbirds. It's pretty funny. She's had enough. You can hear him in the background hollering at her. So anyway, that's funny. There he goes. That's funny. All right, so anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that it has helped you think a little bit about one way to manage chickens, kind of giving you a resource to go look at with the Permaculture Research Institute. There's a lot of good permaculturists out there. There's a lot of weirdos that really like pray to their navel and kind of don't get it, what it's about. It is a design science, and so there's that. So you'll find some weird stuff out there, but there's some good tenants, and we'll do a permaculture video to talk a little bit about zones. Maybe we'll draw a little bit on the board. I'm not the best permaculturist. I'm not hugely practicing getting back into that, but there are some guys out there that do some consulting in the U.S. that are fantastic. Nick Ferguson's one of them. A guy named Nick Bartner's one of them that I know. I've actually had Nick Ferguson out to a piece of property that I was looking at and had him help. So some good guys out there, but hope y'all have a blessed day. Y'all stay uncivilized.